broads in Atlanta. Twisted the lean in the family. Credit cards in the scammers. Hitting the licks in the van.
Oh man. I'm pretty fucking embarrassed over this shit, honestly.
What's happening, YouTube? It's K-Mega405 live from the 451. I'm just your regular gamer talking to the intelligent gamers. Man, it feels so good to be back. I've been refreshed, ready to go, you know what I'm saying? And it's been all good. I want to give a big shout out to Jeffrey Rodriguez. Man, thank you so much for that code to Injustice 2. That was epic. I already had Injustice. So what I did is that I gave that code to someone else that their kid didn't have the game. And so, you know, I gave that to him. And then somebody that was, you know, anonymous, I don't know who it was, thank you so much for giving me a code to Sunset Overdrive. And so there was a kid that, some young kid that's out in Australia. He hits me up sometimes. And so he didn't have certain games, you know, he would talk about it or whatever, and so I gave him Sunset Overdrive because how I look at it is that, look, I'm not a person that's made of money. I work check to check just like everybody else. But, you know, once you acquire a blessing, you know what I'm saying, it's good to give that blessing back. And so, you know what I'm saying, that's just my religious beliefs. But, you know, I really thank you, you know what I'm saying, Jeffrey Rodriguez, man, that was epic. And you know what I'm saying, and anything that somebody gives me or say to me that's kind, it's heartfelt. It really is, because I love doing this, and for the people that enjoy what I do and things like that, it means a lot to me. It really does. Even the haters that even participate by constantly every time I make a video and they got something to say, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? I don't really trip on it too much. But I enjoyed the break. I needed the break just for the fact because I needed to just recharge myself and catch up on some movies, beat some games, and just hang out, man. It was hang out with some homeboys, go out, stuff like that. Just live life. So anyway, let's get on to this video. Crackdown 3. The rhetoric that's been going on with the Xbox brand, it's been absolutely insane. This generation has been just disgusting with how some of these people, how they react towards over nothing. We understand that this is a dry season, so you can come up with articles and things to talk about. But, I mean, to actually talk about this, about Crackdown 3 saying that it looks worse than Crackdown 1, to even come out with this rhetoric about the Xbox One X is going to get delayed and this. If it gets delayed, so what? Anybody that, especially PlayStation fans, for any PlayStation fan that had the audacity to open your mouth and spew the word delay in a negative term, shut up. Shut the hell up. How many games have been delayed on the PlayStation? How many? How many? How can you even dare say the word delay without slapping yourself in the face? I'm serious. So if let's just say that the Xbox One hypothetically is going to get delayed. So what? Fix it up. Do what they got to do. Nobody's hurting. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm still getting it. I'm not going to be upset about it, but they'll make a big deal about everything to make this seem like, oh, the Xbox brand is done. They're finished. You know, PlayStation is destroying them so much. PC has got them scared. Well, when you read articles and you see that Xbox is making money hand over fist, tell me what company that has had the scrutiny that the Xbox One brand, the Xbox One console has gotten and still generate money. When everybody had a problem with the Dreamcast, didn't buy it, didn't support it, belly up. 3DO, belly up. The Atari Jaguar, belly up. That could be a reason why Apple has not jumped in, because this is not an easy thing to get into. You know what I'm saying? You have to get licenses. You have to know what you're doing. PlayStation's been doing this for a long time. So they know the craft. I mean, just think about the Wii U for a second, right? The Wii U wasn't a hated console. It's just that it was foreign. It looked weird. It didn't have the content that people were expecting from Nintendo. Plus the fact that the third-party support was poor. I don't think people so much hated it. People didn't hate the Wii U like they hate the Xbox One. And the Xbox One is flourishing. It's doing fantastic. So I'm just trying to figure out, why is it that for the same people out here that was dogging out the Xbox lineup in the beginning of this generation, why did they beg for these games to come to their system? Sunset Overdrive comes to mind. When there was the rumors that Insomniac was saying, look, man, we just waiting on Microsoft to just sign a check and say, hey, go ahead and make Sunset Overdrive 2, then it looked like that it might be a potential for a multiplat. Then all of a sudden, oh, we want that game. Please make that. Petitions, all of that garbage, right? Letters to Insomniac, please bring it to the PlayStation. But I thought you didn't care about Xbox 720 games. I thought you didn't care about that. Listen, when everybody wanted to talk about variety, there wasn't enough RPGs, there wasn't enough about this. They were only talking about one set of games, which is from Japan. But when you looked at the variety of games that came out in the beginning of this generation from the Xbox, it was absolutely amazing. And still to this day, nothing is like Cuphead. Nothing is like Quantum Break. You know what I'm saying? You might hear people say that Quantum Break was trash because a lot of them might have played it, but the story was very different. You know what I'm saying? Once people who's played it, they say, oh, it's not that bad. Some people will love it. Some people will say it's okay. But for the people who don't like it, they hate it because they never played it. You know what I'm saying? I said don't like it, they don't hate it. Sorry. But the people who have not played it, they hate it. And that makes no sense. That's like me saying, I hate Persona 5. I don't. I haven't played it yet. I'm going to get it when the price go down. But regardless of all that, it really makes no sense. Crackdown 3 doesn't deserve this type of scrutiny. It doesn't. The game looks good. It looks like a well-balanced game that everybody has been expecting if you've been a big fan of Crackdown 1. It should be praised. Now, of course, if you are not having the highest hopes because they talked about the cloud and all that and they haven't showed anything, now Gamescom's still coming. That's legitimate. That's a legitimate point to be concerned about. But that's only just to have a concern. But to say that the game has already failed because they just only showed one aspect of the game and all of that, and then they try to make fun of the person that was watching the game, and you've only seen a little bit of gameplay, maybe 30 minutes? And the game is not out yet. It's not coming out for another couple of months. It's going to be for several months. And if it's just whatever you're saying that the Xbox X is going to get delayed, then you know what I'm saying it's going to look a hell of a lot better on the Xbox One X. It's really crazy to me that they want to talk about Crackdown, but they don't want to talk about Gran Turismo. Have you ever heard any hype or any anticipation for Noonie Cooney? Noonie Cooney! Nothing. Don't hear nothing about Noonie Cooney. You talk about Hellblade. Hellblade might be coming to the Xbox. Everybody's over here talking about them sales numbers. Those wannabe analysts be making these YouTube channels. You know what I'm saying? Be coming up making these videos talking about numbers. Then Crash is coming to the Xbox. Hellblade might be coming to the Xbox. Here comes the report about, I said this in podcasts. I got laughed out of them. Like, no, you stupid. I said, look, if they're going to bring Kingdom Hearts 3 to the Xbox, then of course they're going to bring the previous games because you just don't bring one game and don't bring the rest. It's just absolute common sense. And another thing that I want Xbox to do is to bring back those sequels to the games that they brought out at the beginning of the year. Now, how probable is that? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? When you're looking at games like, Quantum Break, doesn't look likely, but definitely could bring back Sunset Overdrive, Rise, and the number of the rest of the games would bring another Record. Doesn't matter if the people are going to buy them in abundance. It's funny to me because PlayStation brings out tons of titles. That's one of their strengths. They force you to like their games eventually. It might be the 5th, 6th, 10th version of that game, but they will keep on drilling that game until you eventually like it. And that's the same thing that Xbox has to do. Not all the games that Xbox has to have, it has to be AAA, but if something like Record, polish it up, make it come back. Quantum Break, you know what? It got ripped not because of the story, not because of how it actually looked. it got ripped because of resolution, because that was the topic of the day. And those type of things right there is the things that bother me as a gamer, because you're losing out on great potential. It's no different than anybody that's talked about, look, if people play Killzone and they don't like it, then they got a legitimate beef. But if you have not played Killzone and you're talking about it's trash, then that makes no sense. You got to have some kind of, you have to watch a lot of gameplay of it to understand it, or have your hands on the controller and actually play the game to know if you're really going to like that game or not. But I like to hear your thoughts about everything, man. It is so good to be back. Don't forget to hit that sub button. That is definitely appreciated. Hit that like button. Definitely want to see your comments. And, man, everybody have a good one. I'm definitely going to be dropping a video sometime tomorrow, and we're going to just get it in. Peace.
Yeah, get it back on track if you want me back.